Hi everyone, Tim Brown. Welcome back to my Apple Podcast. For this episode, I want to feature an application for the Mac. It's a video editor and it's called Filmora. Filmora is a great application because it comes with a ton of features. So let me just show you everything that comes with this incredible app. So to the left hand side, you see there's a vertical menu of options. The first one is a folder option. This is where you can access all the media on your computer. As you continue to go down the menu here, you'll see you have access to soundtracks, and there are tons of soundtracks that come built inside the app, and they're categorized by different themes. So you can just go through and select which ones you like, and then you can also add titles, and titles come organized by themes as well, and you can scroll through all the various different options here. They're basically graphic elements that you can add on top of images. And also there are filters, tons of filters by the way, the kind of filters that you would find on your iOS device. And they're also arranged by themes, including titles like sepia, black and white, distortion, material, and so forth. There are also overlays, again, another category that you would typically find in your iOS app, where you can add bokeh and light leaks and so forth. And then below that are what they call elements. Elements are basically pictures, but they're like PNGs. They're graphic elements that you can add on top of videos and photos. And then beneath that, transitions, again arranged by category, basic, fancy, and favorite. And there are quite a number of them, so you can have a lot of fun in terms of how you want your images to transition. And then finally, you can add collage elements to your project. This is basically using collages to arrange your photos within a single frame. It's a really nice option to have. There are of course a lot of collage apps out there, so it's kind of interesting to see that this is integrated into a video editor. Great, and so with those photos on my timeline, if I select one, you can see that I now have a menu along the bottom, so I'm going to go over those as well. The very first one that you see to your left is the way to import media into your project, so that's pretty straightforward. The one next to that is a screen recorder option. I'm actually using that right now. I'm recording my screen and using narration in my own choice of microphone. That is built into Filmora. Great feature to have. You can also just choose to have audio narration, and you pretty much do it the same way. You can use the drop down menu to decide what microphone you want to use for that, and you can start recording narrations right over your project. Next to that, you can also delete any kind of project that you have on your timeline. So if I want to get rid of that, I could do that. I'm just going to undo that. Right next to delete, there is an option to split clips. So if I for example, was to scroll over into the middle of this one, I could just hit the split icon and it will split that photo in half. That's always a nice option to have. And you can also crop photos as well. So for example, here you can see there are two black bars along the side of my main frame. The photos do not quite fit the 16:9 aspect ratio. So what I'm going to do is click on the crop icon, and then I'm going to go in and select 16:9 as an option, and then I'm going to move that around to where I want it, so it will fit flush within my video frame. Now I'm going to go through and do that to all 7 photos that I have set up for this particular project. Okay, next I'm going to skip down and add some transitions to my photos so you can see how that works. As I illustrated before, there are tons of options to choose from here, so I'm just going to randomly just select some and then just drag them on top of each image, and you can see the image is placed on top of them. I'm just going to go through and do this for each image. You'll notice that as I go across, some of the transitions are actually covering the entire thumbnail of my image. I'm going to go ahead and fix that in a moment, but let me just go ahead and get these transitions added to each photo first. Okay, we now have a transition in between each photo. I'm now going to go ahead and select one of those transitions. That is the first one here. I'm going to double tap on it, and it's going to bring up a window, and you can see here I have the option to set a duration. And what I'm going to do is actually have the transitions come in as 1 second rather than as 2 seconds. And then I'm going to select apply duration to all. And this will make an adjustment on my timeline in terms of where the transitions come in. Now you can also go back to and make sure that all your clips are the same length as well. So if I double tap on a photo on my timeline, I can go in here and then just set the seconds to 3, select apply duration to all, click OK, and now the adjustment is made to the photos as well as the transitions. Okay, I have my photos and durations all set up. I'm going to go in and add some titles now. and I'm going to go through and find me a template that I can add on top of an existing photo, which is the first one in this case. And you can see that the title is added to its own area on the timeline. So I'm going to match it so it lines up with the first photo, and I'm going to double click on that title clip, and you see I have my element here that I can then go in and resize, and I can also relocate it to the left corner here. And I can also highlight this text too and actually just change it, and I'm just going to put Arizona like so. You know, I can also too go over here on the left hand side and also choose some of the different color combinations that we have here. If I wanted to change the option there, I also can just customize it to choose my own gradient fills, the opacity, and so forth. So that's actually super great. And you can also add additional titles as well if you wanted to do that. This really comes in handy, and it's just a nice feature to have. So I'm going to go ahead and just add this to the first slide. So now when I go ahead and play my slideshow back here, you can see the title just sort of comes in there at the bottom. Pretty cool. Okay, so with Filmora, you can also add filters to your photos as well. And you just select the filter that you want, and then you just drag it down to the timeline here. And you can see that a separate line is created just for filters. So I'm going to go ahead and just place this one right underneath the second photo here. Then let's go ahead and play that back so you can kind of get a sense of what that filter looks like. Slightly different coloration to it. And you can also add overlays too. So these overlays include all kinds of effects, grunge effects, light leaks, and so forth. I can go ahead and grab a grunge and drag that to the timeline. And you can see that gets added to its own area too. And I'll have that cover 2 images. And so I'm going to go ahead and start from the beginning and play the title, then let you see the filters, and then the overlays. So there's my title, here's the filter that I just added, and here's the grunge effects. Pretty cool. In addition to filters and overlays, you can also add these graphic elements that go over top of your images. And one I really like is this little airplane sort of feature. And again, it's added to its own area on the timeline. It's basically these little flying little paper airplane images that fly all over your composition. It really has a nice effect, and I'm going to actually play this throughout, but since it exceeds the length of my short little video here, I can actually go in and select that feature and then split it in the menu up above, and that way I can get rid of the excess there. And then I can go ahead and start from the beginning and play it back so you can kind of get a sense of what these graphic elements look like. In this case, this is an animated effect. And these are like little airplanes that are like flying around. I mean, you could probably barely see them, but they're pretty cool, and I really like that effect. So you see the grunge, and then you see the little paper airplanes. Pretty cool. You know what's also nice is that you can add these collage elements to your projects as well. So for example, if I select this option, you see there are a range of templates to choose from. And I'm going to go ahead and just maybe choose this one, and I'm going to drag it to my timeline. And you see I have a little still image already set up, and what it's asking me to do is basically prompt photos into those drop zones down below. So I'm going to take some of my existing photos here and just drop them into those zones. Okay, so now I have 4 images placed into the zones, and I can choose here to keep a border or deselect the border. I'm going to actually keep a border, but maybe change the color and make the border orange, and go ahead and play that back, and there you go. You have a collage right inside your slide project. You can also deselect the border too if you just want the images just to appear as collage with nothing separating them. I kind of like the way they're collaged together like that, so I'll click OK, and now that is now added to my project. So as you can see, Filmora comes with a lot of really cool features, but I'm not done. There's more. It also comes with a chroma key green screen feature built right into the app. So for example, I just dragged in a video here on the timeline. Down below you can see there's another area on the timeline just for this green screen video, and I'm going to go ahead and use the built-in editing tools to bring this video of myself on top of the slideshow that I just created. So what I'm going to do is just control click on here and just bring up the option green screen. And with this option, you see I have the option to select green screen or chroma key, which then automatically takes out the background. You can then use the intensity slider to control how much of this background you want to take out. Okay everyone, so now I'm going to wrap up this review by adding a soundtrack to finish off my project. So I'm going to go all the way down to, or rather I'm going to go up to music, and I'm going to choose the Young and Bright, or maybe Tender, and use Pacific Park, which is a nice piano sort of soundtrack that I'm going to add down below one of the music icons. And I'm going to go ahead and play this music back to see how it sounds. Okay, I think the piano music is slightly louder than I need it to be, since my voice is going to be coming in. So I'm actually going to go ahead and move my slider over, and right as I begin talking, I'm going to split my music track. And so when I get to this track, I'm going to tap on it and then lower the volume level just a tad so I can hear my voice a little bit more. And then where I stop, I'm then going to split that soundtrack once again and then raise the volume level back up once I stop talking. That's great. Now I'm going to go ahead and select export, and I'm going to play the entire finished project back for you so you can see just how Filmora works. You can of course give your project a title, and you can choose what format you want to give it. I'm going to actually choose an MP4. In this case, I'm going to save it to my movie folder. You can also choose the resolution. I can actually bump this up to 1080p, and I can keep the frame rate the same. And you can also format this for other devices, for YouTube and other social media sites. So this is a really nice option to have. I'm just going to go with the first one and click create, and let's play this baby back. Hi everyone, I want to share with you all the pictures I took during our trip to Arizona. My wife and I went there to see her parents, and we also got a chance to see the Grand Canyon. So please enjoy. And ladies and gents, that is Filmora for the Mac. It's a wonderful application. It's about $50. It also comes with some additional add-ons that you can purchase online. And believe it or not, Filmora just came out with a version for the iPhone. It's a slightly different design, of course, but it also comes with a lot of features, and it's pretty easy to use. Maybe I'll feature that one in my next episode. My name is Tim Brown. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of My Apple Podcast. Please check me out at myapplepodcast.com. You can also find me on YouTube and Twitter. See you next time.